Hello students, how are you? So greetings from my side. Sat Sri Akal and Namaste. So guys, Indrajeet sir again back. First of all, I want to tell sorry for a delay for a while. Okay guys, so today with a new concept and some of the updations related to Newton's law of motion. Okay Bachaji, let's move on. See, those who are new to this platform and this channel, so introduction is must. Myself Indrajeet Singh, you can call me IS Bhaiya, and having 5+ years of teaching experience and given the multiple ads into the general category, Bachaji. So Bachaji, see, apart from this, my passion towards the physics is the most important thing, and the explanation of the physics into the most simplified form. See, Bachaji, we are having the very nice thing to connect with the top educators of the country of the JEE platform. You can just enter this link, tinyurl.com/JEE Insta, tinyurl.com/JEE Insta, right? So you can have an access the live updates about the JEE from the top educators of the country. Okay, see, moving forward, see guys, this is a very awesome thing that Unacademy has thought of from the student's perspective, from the student's point of view. Now it is a very difficult task to search of any specific topic on the search engine and to get a specific video, but we have made something excellent thing in front of you for you all. So that is, just enter this link, tinyurl.com/JEE mobile, right? If you want to have, like, if you want to access the lecture of the physics, it's okay. Chemistry, it's okay. Maths, it's okay. Everything just at one click. Just press and play. Okay, Bachaji, just press and play. Okay, see, this is what a glimpse of the plus platform. As usual, I used to say, it is not important at what we are providing. It is an important thing that what is a benefit that you are gaining from this platform. See guys, it is an often thing that whatever the thing is, whatever the scenario of the lecture is going on into the offline resources, that is for only once. But here we can have a live plus classes, and whenever you are moving on for the recorded sessions, that entire scenario would be having, you will be having for an infinite times. Okay, so top educators of the country will have an access. They will conduct the live classes, they will have the test series, they will have the doubt clearing session. Everything is for your rectification. Everything is for your rectification. Okay Bachaji, let's move forward. See, you can see the evolve courses is going on, the emerge courses are going on, some of the detailed courses are going on. It's not what we are saying, evolve and emerge. It's not about that specific word. Yes, we are providing the quality education on that plus platform. Yes, I'm damn sure we are providing that quality education. And see, if the top educators of the country are sharing the knowledge, it means something might be going on. Some kind of the quality of education might be provided. I can't say it might be, it is provided on this platform. Okay guys, see, this is a glimpse of the plus platform. Okay, so those who are new to this platform, they might be having the question in mind, how to join this, so I would recommend you all, just enter the Unacademy learning app in your app store, install it, and then move forward, right? Just move forward for the plus, and then for select JEE, and guys, you can subscribe. So guys, those who want to subscribe for the plus platform, they can use my code ISLIVE. Indrajeet sir is live, you all are live, and the physics is live. Okay Bachaji, so you can have 1 year or 2 year of the courses and lots of the aspiration. If you are attempting for the JEE upcoming, if you are attempting for a second attempt of the JEE, right, then you can have another options, right, according to your criteria and the specification. Okay, you can select any specific option, but use this code ISLIVE for 10% off. Okay guys, so those who are already on the plus platform, I should recommend you all to use this code for the renewals, right, and with a lots of the credit. Okay Bachaji, so should I start this session, because as you know, Indrajeet sir is always new with the concepts. So I think someone, let me see those who are alive. So can I see Himanshu is there? Okay, Dwaipanya is there. Okay, nice. Somela is there, Brajesh is there, Noman. I think there is a comment from Somalia. Goshal, thanks for the NLM video, sir. Thanks for the NLM videos, sir. Okay, thanks a lot. It is not like that we have made the mind map for only first chapter. Like if we are having the 35 chapters of the 11th and 12th combined, then one by one it will come. It will come. And there is also another concept, right guys? If you will stay updated to this channel, then you will getting lot of things, right? Okay, on this channel. Okay, see, lots of students are there. Pranamya is there, Ritesh is there, Charmi, Somalia is there, Sikandar is there. Okay, nice. Hi everyone, good evening. Hi everyone, how are you all? Fine. So guys, I'm giving the likes target more than 500 plus. Okay, share maximum with your friends, so that they can also be aware of this channel, right? Okay guys, so can we start this session? Yes, we will start this session. See guys, today's session is on the mind map related to NLM. See, at the end of the session, right, we will, what we can say, just sum up the entire NLM on the one single slide. We will sum up the entire NLM on this one single slide. Okay guys, moving forward. See, Newton's law of motion. You can see the lots of topics are there related to the Newton's law of motion. The first one is Newton's first law, the second law, the third law. The next one, that is the normal reaction, right? The friction and tension and the pseudo, right? See, this is what is a glimpse of the entire chapter. See, this is not a thing, it is only the teaser. This is only the teaser, guys, you are having in front, only the teaser, right? So now moving forward, see, we will bifurcate the each and every part of the Newton's law of motion one by one, right? And we will have a final glimpse of the entire chapter. We will have the final glimpse of the entire chapter. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay guys, moving forward, see, entire Newton's law of motion, it is based on only one thing. Entire Newton's law of motion, it is based on only one thing. If you are capable to calculate the forces, it means 60 to 70% of the chapter has been covered up. 60 to 70% of the chapter is covered up, right? So forces, how many type? Forces, how many type? See, you can see, we can calculate the friction. We are having the normal, we are having the mg, we are having the kx. Kx, mg. See, kx is a kind of a conservative force. This is also known as the spring force. This is also known as spring force, right? This is a tension. See guys, this is only the teaser. We will have the further classification of this specific topics. We will have the further classification of this specific topic. If I am talking about the weight, that is mg. That is mg. And here it would be the normal reaction, as you all are aware of. And this is the friction. This is a friction. Okay guys, so this was all type of the forces, and it will cover the approximately. See, while seeing this slide, right, the lots of this topic will scroll up in your mind. The lots of topics will scroll up in your mind. Okay guys, so moving forward, see, let us have an example. We are moving forward to the first kind of the spring force. First type of the force, that is known as the spring force. Okay guys, if I'm talking about the spring force, and some of the noteworthy points are needed to remember. Now, what are kind of the noteworthy points? Let us take an example. This is a spring, right? And this is on the smooth surface, and this is of the mass m. The coefficient of friction is 0, right? Let us take an example. If I are applying the external force, right, then here one restoring force is generated. One restoring force is generated. That restoring force, it is the spring force. That restoring force, it is the spring force. This is having another characteristics also, right? This kx is also known as what? Conservative force. Conservative force, as it never depends on the path. It only depends on initial and final points. It only depends on initial and final points. Okay guys, initial and final points. So guys, this was a glimpse related to the spring force, right? Okay, see, another important note is coming. Let us take an example. Suppose if we are taking another example, suppose this is mass m1 connected to the spring. Suppose this is mass m1 connected to the spring. Suppose in case if spring is cut, in case if spring is cut. In another sense, whenever the spring is cut, immediately the spring force would be 0. Immediately the spring force would be 0. The immediately spring force zero immediately. Okay guys, so this was the glimpse related to the some of the important points related to spring force. Okay, this much amount of the things you have to remember. Okay, this much amount of the things you have to remember. Okay guys, this is not a black screen, right? So you do not have to take any kind of the screenshots. Okay guys, moving further, tension. If I'm talking about the tension, right, then it is having the two types of the bifurcations. It is having the two type of the classifications. You've seen the sums related to the massless strings, right, and to the strings with the mass m. See, let us have a very simple example of it. Let us take an example. If I'm talking about this system, right, then we are taking this springs as the massless, this spring as the massless. This is considered as the massless. Why? If this is considered as the massless, then tension at each point would be same. The tension at each point, bachcha ji, would be same. The tension at each point would be same. The tension at each point would be same. If this string is massless. If this string is massless. So can I say this is the first case? If I'm moving forward to the second case, guys, if I'm moving forward to the second case, then we are talking about the rod. Guys, I'm talking about the rod that is having mass m and having the uniform mass density. It is of the uniform mass density, right, and it is having mass m and length l. So if I'm talking about this is a rope with mass m, so tension would differ at each point. Tension would differ at each point. So guys, in this case I would write it on as tension would differ at each point. Tension would differ. So these are the two most important points related to the first and second case of the tension, right? Okay, and in this, apart from this, there are lots of Pulley block system, and apart from this there are lots of Pulley block system in which we can calculate the tension. Okay guys, so this was a glimpse related to the tension. Okay, now moving forward to the most important part. See guys, related to the friction, we will discuss only one specific example. An entire friction will be cleared. We will have a one specific example and entire friction will be clear. Okay guys, see, let us move on to see friction is having the three kinds of the classification, and generally if the students are not aware of these three things, the first is static, limiting and kinetic, right? The difference between the static, limiting and kinetic, if the students are not aware of this, then it would be the friction is actually an easy part, but if you are not aware of these three things, right, then it would be quite typical for you all. Then friction would be quite typical for you all. Okay guys, so moving forward, see, let's have a glimpse. Say I'm taking a very simple example. This is a particle of mass m, force is applied. Okay, see here the friction is 0. The friction is 0. The coefficient of friction is 0. Let us take an example, 0.3. It is 0.3 and we are taking this mass as the 3 kg, right? So first of all, what is the limiting friction? If I'm talking about the limiting friction, then it is mu of n. So here the limiting friction would be 9 Newton. See, limiting friction is not having any kind of the sense. Why? It is having that much amount of a sense just to identify till what amount we have to apply the external force so that the object will be on verge of moving. Okay guys, see, simple thing, very simple thing. Let us take an example. See guys, let us move on to the graph. This is the most important graph of the friction versus F applied. Friction versus F applied. Okay guys, see, let us take a very fair example. Suppose this is F. right? The limiting friction we got as a 9 Newton. Suppose we are applying F as a 0 Newton, right? So till then static friction will act and it will try to self adjust. There is a property of the static friction. What is that property? To self adjust according to the external force applied. Why? Friction is always having one important note, what? That it always resists the relative motion between the two contact surfaces. Always have resisted, it will always resist the relative motion to it, always oppose the relative motion between the two contact surfaces. So suppose if I am applying 3 Newton, so friction, the static friction will self adjust itself to the 3 Newton. It will self adjust itself to the 3 Newton. Okay guys, see now, suppose if it's moved forward, I am applying the friction is equal to applied, the force is equal to 9 Newton. So friction will maximum adjust itself up to the 9 Newton, and till then the graph would be straight. Now it is a deadline for the static friction to stop that object. It is a deadline for the static friction to stop that object. Now what he will do, right? What he will do, again if I am applying the 10 Newton, now what will happen here? If I am applying 10 Newton, then what will happen here, right? Say it exceeds the value, the F applied would be greater than limiting friction. The F applied would be greater than limiting friction. In that case object will start moving. See here, the static would be equivalent to limiting. Till then from 0 to limiting friction, static will try to self adjust up to the maximum value. Now it is out of the limit for the static friction. Now who will act? So till the object is on verge of moving, static friction will act. When object is moving, kinetic friction will act. The object is on verge of moving, static friction will act. The object that is moving, at that point the kinetic friction will act. So after this, suppose F is applied like this way, here the interlocking will break. Interlocking will break. So in that case what will happen? Here we are using mu s, and now here we will use mu k. The object will be in motion, still friction is trying to resist it, but there is no u. Why? Because suppose if I am applying the friction, the applied force as 1000 Newton, so in that case also the friction would be constant. Friction would be constant. Okay guys, so this is what the glimpse and the important point about the friction. The actual classification of the static, limiting and kinetic. Static, limiting and kinetic. Okay guys, static, limiting and kinetic. So guys, this was a friction. Okay, if you are able to understand the actual difference between the static, limiting and kinetic, right, then friction is not that much difficult for you all. Okay guys, so friction would be not that much difficult as for you all. Okay guys, moving forward, see now pseudo, the most important part of the NLM. Most important part of the NLM, the pseudo force. Pseudo, right? So now if you want to exactly define the pseudo force, what the pseudo force actually is, so I would remember you all, if you have already moved on with this concept, then I must say it is a kind of the imaginary force that never exists. It is a kind of a imaginary force that never exists. Actually the criteria states that NLM, Newton's law of motion, are only applicable, the Newton's law of motion are only applicable, right, into the inertial frame. Into the inertial frame. See, basically we are having the two types of frame, right? We are having the two types. The first one is inertial. The basic concept of the inertial is velocity of the observer is 0 or velocity of the observer is kept constant. Velocity of the observer is 0 or velocity of the observer is kept constant, right? See, very simple. Consider yourself as an observer. You are a student, you are an observer, right? One sum is coming in front of you. It is a kind of a physical activity going on. It is coming in front of you. It is a kind of a physical activity going on. It is coming in front of you, right? So in that case, right, in that case something is going on. Now you are an observer. If you are having the velocity 0, you are an inertial frame. If you are not having any velocity 0 constant, then also you are in inertial frame. But suppose in any case if you are accelerating, then I would recommend you all to be in the non-inertial frame, because you are in non-inertial frame. Why? In the non-inertial frame, the acceleration of the observer is not equal to 0, velocity of the observer is either decreasing part or velocity of the observer into the decreasing part. Okay guys, so this was all about the pseudo force. There is one important point that I have to notify you related to the pseudo force. Let us see how. See guys, let us take a very fair example. Suppose this is a surface, right? See, observer is standing here, right, and here it is a block. The acceleration of the block is initially 0. Suppose in any case the surface is given the acceleration. The surface is given the acceleration, right? So in this case, yes, the observer is stationary on the surface now. It means that observer is also having the acceleration. So in that case, the Newton's law of motion fails. Newton's law of motion fails, in which case when acceleration of the observer is not equal to 0. So for that, to apply Newton's law of motion in non-inertial frame, to apply Newton's law of motion in non-inertial frame, one imaginative force is required. One imaginative force is required. And that imaginative force, it is pseudo force. And that imaginative force, it is what, Bachaji? Pseudo force. That imaginative force, it is what? Pseudo force. Okay guys, most important thing, how to apply the pseudo force. Most important note that I am writing here. Apply acceleration of frame reverse to block. Acceleration of the frame reverse to the block. Guys, there is only very simple concept. What? Apply acceleration of the frame reverse to the block. Apply acceleration of the frame reverse to the block. This is the most important note. This is the most important note, right? So it means that right now it is a non-inertial frame, na? It is a non-inertial frame. I have to convert this into the inertial frame. So I have to just apply the acceleration of the frame reverse to the block. So it would be like, this is an M, this is an mg, and this would be the pseudo force, and that is equal to m of a. Pseudo force m of a. So this is an important note that you are going to have. Okay. This is a kind of a direct approach to the sums. This is kind of a direct approach to the sums. Okay guys, this is a kind of, and most important note, there is another thing. Okay, the net acceleration is not equal to the acceleration as because of the pseudo force. Generally the students are having this kind of the confusion related to the pseudo force, right? Generally the students are having this kind of the questions, okay, this kind of the confusions related to the pseudo force. But this is what the glimpse of the pseudo force is. So pseudo force is having the classification into two frames, inertial and non-inertial frame, right? In inertial frame, yes, NLM, Newton's law of motion are applicable. Newton's law of motion, especially Newton's law of second motion, applicable. But in this case, not applicable. In this case, not applicable. So if you want to use the Newton's law of motion into the non-inertial frame, pseudo forces needed. Pseudo forces needed. Okay guys, pseudo forces needed. Okay, so this was a glimpse related to the pseudo force, and this was some noteworthy points, right? I'm writing it points. You can write it as IMP points to remember. Okay guys, so moving forward, Pulley system, the most important part. See, if I'm talking about the five kind of the forces, we have seen with the spring, we have seen with the friction, we have seen with the tension, we have seen with the pseudo. So all type of the forces examples can be included into the Pulley block system. All kind of the forces examples can be included into the Pulley block system. Okay guys, into the Pulley block system. So moving forward, see, basically if I'm talking about the Pulley block systems, then we are having the two further classifications. We are having the further classification. The first one, that is fixed Pulley. In fixed Pulley, the most important note, acceleration of both blocks connected. Acceleration of both blocks connected to the pulley are same. Acceleration of the both blocks connected to the pulley are same, right? But in the case of the movable pulley, it differs, right? So acceleration connected to the movable pulleys, acceleration of the blocks that are connected to the movable pulleys, they differs, and they can be calculated by means of the constraint relation. They can be calculated by means of the constraint relation. Now what is this constraint relation? Simple. You have heard about the technique sigma t dot dA, that is equal to 0. Sigma t dot dA, that is equal to 0. Okay guys, sigma t dot dA, that is equal to 0, right? So this was a completely bifurcation. Say in movable pulleys we are going to use this much technique only. Okay, see, let us have a sum related to the movable pulleys, so it will clear the concept. Let us take an example. See, you have seen this kind of the sums, right? This is what we are having. This is the M1, right? And this is what the M2 is, right? So here, and this is connected to this much kind of the pulley, right? Suppose it is moving downward with acceleration A1. This pulley is movable, na? Right? So acceleration of the both blocks will be different. Acceleration of the both blocks would be different. So in that case, we have to find the relation of the acceleration of the blocks. Relation of the acceleration of the blocks. Then we have to find by this method. The work done by tension would be equivalent to 0. Work done by tension would be equivalent to 0 on both of the blocks. So here let us take an example. Tension is T. So here to balance it is 2T, and here is also T. So 2T dot acceleration A1, and that would be equivalent to T dot A2. So T gonna cancel. Here I am getting the constraint relation between the A1 and A2. Here I am getting the constraint relation between A1 and A2. Here I am getting the constraint relation between A1 and A2. Okay guys, so in this case we can also move on to calculate the tensions also. How? Let us take an example. This is M1G. So here we can have an equation M1A1, that is equal to M1G minus 2T. Can we say this is equation number 2? For this we are having M2A2, and that is equal to T. So resolving 1, 2 and 3, we can also be able to calculate the acceleration. Okay guys, so this was the what we can say the glimpse of the movable pulleys. And the fixed pulleys, you are having the very easy calculation, right? Nice. Okay, so moving forward. Okay guys, so again back moving forward, Bachaji. So this is what the entire NLM about. See, I am moving aside. You can have the complete glimpse of the chapter into the one point. You can have the complete glimpse. See, actually the rocket propulsion is also the part of the NLM. How? It is into the Newton's law of motion, first, second and third, right? Okay, so this is the entire glimpse of the NLM. Okay guys, so moving forward, so our session is going nearer to the end, right? Hope so you like my new concept. Indrajeet sir will come up with upon all of this things. Okay guys, so those who are interested to move on to the Plus platform, I should recommend you all use this code ISLIVE to get the 10% of off. To get the 10% off. Okay guys, lots of things are there. You can move on for the 1 year, 2 year course, right? You can move on for the 1 year and 2 year course, and for the JEE second attempt, right, you are also having the lots of options available, right? You are having also lots of options available. So in this case guys, move forward, right? So these are guys, subscribe this channel, press the bell icon and share it with friends maximum with this hashtag JEE Live Daily. Okay guys, so this is what we need, right? A maximum likes and share so that all students can come upon here. Maximum likes and share so that all students can come upon here. Okay guys, so okay, again I am saying that we are having the lots of chapters into the physics, so those who can be applied, and this kind of the concept maps come in front of you, right? This kind of the concept maps come in front of you, right? See, it is like suppose if I'm talking about the entire NLM, then it will move on for the 50 to 60 to more than 100 pages of the chapter, but in this case the entire chapter is covered up into the short form, right? And after reading, after moving on to the very first slide, everything related to the NLM will scrolled up into your mind very fast, very fast. Okay guys, I think I'm having the comment, wave ka aisa video sir please. Definitely is bacha, we will move on one by one, right? This is a new thing created on this platform, and I'm sure that this kind of the thing never existed on the other platforms, right? I'm damn sure about it that this kind of the things that never existed and will never come on the another platforms. Okay guys, so moving forward, so this is a channel, these are some of the sister channels, NIT JEE Foundation, right? And this is what you all are about. It's not about let's crack it. Yes, we will crack it, we will crack it. So guys, in this case, suppose those who are already on plus, they want to if they want to any kind of the renewal, right? So they can use my code to get the 10% off. Okay guys, so this is Indrajeet Singh will definitely come up with a new concept, something new with you like this. I'm having another things also. Slowly will come upon with the new thing. So this is Indrajeet Singh. I can't say for a long time, but for a short time, goodbye from my side. Bye bye, bachcha log. Sat Sri Akal.